If you just finished Solo Leveling and you're sitting there feeling empty, craving that same rush of watching Sung Jinwoo go from the weakest hunter to an absolute god-tier powerhouse, I've got you covered. Today I'm bringing you 10 anime that will fill that Solo Leveling shaped void in your heart. We're talking brutal dungeons, insane power systems, and protagonists who start weak but become absolutely unstoppable. Each one has that same addictive progression that made Solo Leveling impossible to put down. Starting strong with Is It Wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon. And trust me, don't let the title fool you. This anime is about Belle Crenelle, a complete newbie adventurer in a world where gods walk among humans and grant them powers to explore a massive, deadly dungeon beneath the city. Belle starts at the absolute bottom. We're talking level 1, barely surviving against the weakest monsters, getting laughed at by experienced adventurers. Sound familiar? But here's where it gets insane. Belle has a unique skill called Realis that lets him grow faster than anyone else, as long as his feelings and determination stay strong. What makes this hit like Solo Leveling is watching Belle tackle increasingly impossible floors of the dungeon, face monsters that should obliterate him, and come out stronger every single time. The leveling system is addictive. You'll find yourself cheering as he breaks through level after level, gaining abilities that make him legendary. The anime has 5 seasons with 73 episodes total, plus movies, and it's still ongoing. The world building is incredible, mixing mythology with RPG mechanics. The fights are gorgeous, emotional, and Belle's growth from a scared rookie to someone who can face minotaurs and floor bosses solo. Pure adrenaline. If you loved watching Jinwoo's stat window pop up with new skills and levels, DanMachi will scratch that exact itch. Now we're getting into something mysterious and dark. Tower of God follows Bam, a boy who's lived his entire life in darkness until a girl named Rachel shows him light, then abandons him to climb a mysterious tower where anything you wish for waits at the top. Bam enters this tower with 0 combat experience, no special abilities, and no idea what he's doing. Every floor is a test, and the tests are brutal. But here's the twist. Bam is an irregular, someone who wasn't chosen by the tower but forced his way in, and irregulars have the potential to shatter the entire system. The progression in Tower of God is different, but equally addictive. Bam doesn't just get stronger through training, he awakens abilities that even ancient warriors fear. He learns to manipulate Shinsu, the tower's energy source, in ways that should be impossible. Each floor reveals more about his potential, and by the end of season 1, you'll be screaming for more. With 13 episodes in season 1 and season 2 completed with 26 episodes, this anime is a slow burn that explodes into something incredible. The power system is complex, the politics are intense, and watching Bam transform from naive and weak to someone who makes entire floors tremble. That's the Solo Leveling energy we crave. The betrayal, the mysteries, the way Bam's powers evolve, it all builds into something unforgettable. Here's one that deserves way more attention. Tsukimichi follows Makoto Misumi, a regular high schooler summoned to be a hero in another world. But there's a problem. The goddess of this world takes one look at him, calls him ugly, and literally banishes him to the edge of the world, stripping him of his hero status. Left for dead in the most dangerous wasteland imaginable, surrounded by the strongest monsters, Makoto should die immediately. But plot twist, in this world, he's ridiculously overpowered. The goddess didn't realize that Earth's environment made him insanely strong compared to this world's standards. What makes this similar to Solo Leveling isn't just the power, it's the journey. Makoto starts by barely understanding his abilities, but as he explores, fights dragons, builds his own city, and creates a merchant company, he becomes a force that even the goddess regrets abandoning. His growth is strategic, smart, and satisfying. Season 1 has 12 episodes, Season 2 added another 25, and Season 3 is confirmed. The anime balances comedy with serious action perfectly. Watching Makoto go from rejected and confused to building an empire while casually defeating demon lords, it's that same power fantasy escalation that made Solo Leveling legendary. Plus, the side characters are actually lovable, and the world building keeps expanding in ways that make you want to know more. If Solo Leveling made you wonder what would happen if Jinwoo decided to conquer the entire world instead of just surviving, Overlord is your answer. Momonga is a max level player in a dying MMORPG. When the servers shut down, he finds himself trapped in the game world as his character, Ain's Owl Gown, an undead overlord with world-ending power. But here's the thing, he's not trying to escape, he's building an empire. Overlord doesn't have a weak to strong arc because Ain starts overpowered. But what it shares with Solo Solo Leveling is that feeling of dominance, of watching a protagonist who commands absolute power and respect. Ainz has an army of loyal NPCs who are insanely powerful, and watching him strategize, manipulate, and crush anyone who opposes him is addictive. 4 seasons with 52 episodes total, and every season raises the stakes. The world believes Ainz is a master strategist playing 4D chess, when really he's improvising and accidentally creating a legend. The irony is brilliant, but the power fantasy, unmatched. If you love Jinwoo's shadow army and his reputation as the world's strongest hunter, Ainz's undead legions and his rise to godhood will hit the same way. Gate takes the isekai formula and flips it. A mysterious gate opens in Tokyo, and a fantasy army pours through, attacking modern Japan. The Japanese self-defense force fights back, then enters the gate to explore the world beyond. Our protagonist, Yuji Itami, is an off-duty otaku soldier who becomes a hero during the initial attack and gets chosen to lead a reconnaissance team into this new world. Here's where it gets good. Itami isn't overpowered, but he has modern military technology in a medieval fantasy world. The progression here is different. It's not about Itami leveling up, it's about him and his team becoming legends in this world. They face dragons, ancient sorcerers, and entire armies, but modern tactics, weapons, and strategy make them seem like gods to the people of this world. With 24 episodes across 2 seasons, Gate delivers incredible action, smart battles, and that satisfying feeling of watching someone completely dominate a world that underestimates them. The political intrigue, the clashes between modern and fantasy warfare, and Itami's reputation growing until he's feared and respected across kingdoms. It's a different flavor, but it hits that same power progression itch. If you want something where the protagonist's growth comes from strategy and reputation rather than raw stats, Gate delivers. Black Summoner is pure, unapologetic power fantasy, and it knows it. Kelvin is reincarnated into a fantasy world as a summoner, but here's the catch. He traded all his memories for insane starting stats and skills. He doesn't remember his past life, but he doesn't care because he's addicted to fighting strong opponents. Kelvin starts strong, but what makes this work is his obsession with getting stronger. He doesn't just want to survive, he actively seeks out the most dangerous monsters, the strongest warriors, and the deadliest dungeons because he loves the thrill of battle. His summoned creatures are incredibly powerful, and watching him turn every encounter into a chance to level up and gain new abilities. That's the Solo Leveling energy. Season 1 has 13 episodes, and while it's not the deepest story, it's incredibly fun. The action is constant, the power scaling is insane, and Kelvin's growth from strong to absolutely broken is exactly what you want after finishing Solo Leveling. He's not afraid to fight gods, dragons, or demon lords. In fact, he seeks them out. If you just want that pure dopamine hit of watching someone become unstoppable and love every second of it, Black Summoner is your next binge. This one is special. Side Kagano has one dream: to become the ultimate mastermind operating from the shadows, the mysterious figure behind everything. When he dies and reincarnates in a fantasy world, he finally gets his chance. Sid creates an organization called Shadow Garden to fight a conspiracy he completely made up for fun. The problem: the conspiracy is actually real, and everything he invents as a joke becomes reality. He thinks he's playing pretend, but he's accidentally becoming the most powerful and feared figure in the world. What makes this similar to Solo Leveling is Sid's absurd strength and growth. He trained his body to perfection, masters magic in ways no one else can, and creates techniques that reshape the world's understanding of power. The difference: it's hilarious because he has no idea how seriously everyone takes him. Season 1 has 20 episodes, Season 2 added 12 more, and an anime movie titled Lost Echoes was announced. The anime perfectly balances comedy with genuinely epic action sequences. When Sid drops the act and goes full power, the animation and music make it feel like the world is ending. His iconic "I am atomic" moment is legendary. If you want Solo Leveling's power and progression mixed with comedy gold, this is it. Berserk of Gluttony. Fate Graphite lives in a world where everyone has skills, but his is considered the most useless. Gluttony. In a society where your skill determines your worth, Fate is treated as trash, barely surviving as a gatekeeper. Everything changes when he discovers the truth. Gluttony doesn't just make him hungry. When he defeats enemies, he can devour their skills, stats, stats and abilities, absorbing their power permanently. Suddenly, the weakest person in the kingdom starts a journey to become the strongest. Season 1 has 12 episodes, and while the animation isn't perfect, the story hits hard. Log Horizon, 30,000 players wake up trapped inside the MMORPG Elder Tale, and the world they once played casually is now their reality. Shiroi, a veteran player known for his strategic mind, quickly realizes survival isn't just about fighting monsters, it's about building a society. With 3 seasons and 62 episodes total, Log Horizon is a slow burn that rewards patient viewers. The power progression isn't just personal stats, it's watching Shiro and his guild become the most influential force in this new world. The politics, the raid battles, and the way they revolutionize how this world works. It's strategic domination. God of High School, we're ending with pure hype. God of High School is a martial arts tournament where high schoolers from around the world fight to have any wish granted. Jin Mori is a carefree taekwondo genius who enters just because he loves fighting strong opponents. The tournament starts simple, but it escalates fast. We're talking gods, borrowed power from mythological figures, and battles that destroy mountains. Jin Mori seems like just a skilled fighter at first, but as the series progresses, you discover he's connected to something far more legendary than anyone realized. Season 1 has 13 episodes, and fair warning, the pacing is lightning fast, but the animation by Mappa is absolutely gorgeous, and the fights are some of the most visually stunning you'll ever see. Watching Jin Mori's true power awaken and his reputation grow from a random fighter to someone even gods recognize. That's the escalation we love. And there you have it, 10 anime that will bring back that solo leveling feeling. From dungeon crawling to strategic domination, from weak to godlike, these shows have everything you're craving.